The Lonely Little Dragon. Once upon a time, in a distant valley surrounded by high mountains, there lived a little dragon named Ember. Ember was smaller than the other dragons, and unlike them, he didn't have big, fiery wings or a loud, rumbling roar. Instead, he had a tiny flame that would flicker out when he tried to breathe fire. Ember always felt different, and because of this, he often felt lonely. While the other dragons soared through the sky and practiced their fire-breathing skills, Ember stayed close to the ground, wishing he could be more like them. He loved the mountains and the forests around him, but he longed for the company of other dragons, someone who would understand him. One day, as Ember sat by a sparkling river, watching the water flow, he heard a rustling in the bushes nearby. He looked up to see a small bird, a blue jay, fluttering in the air. "Hello," the blue jay chirped. "I'm Skylar. What's your name?" Ember smiled shyly. "I'm Ember. I'm just sitting here thinking." "Thinking about what?" Skylar asked, landing on a nearby rock. Ember looked down at his small wings and sighed. "I wish I could be like the other dragons. They can fly so high and their fire is so strong. But my flame is tiny and I can't soar like them." Skylar tilted her head. "But Ember, you are special just as you are. You don't need to be like the other dragons to be important. Every creature has its own strength. You just need to find yours." Ember thought about what Skylar said, but he wasn't sure. How could his small flame be special? How could he make a difference? That evening, a storm rolled in over the mountains. The wind howled, and the rain began to pour. As the storm grew stronger, the river started to rise, threatening to flood the valley. All the animals rushed to higher ground, but Ember noticed that a family of deer was stuck on the other side of the river. The water was rising quickly, and they couldn't make it across. Without thinking, Ember spread his small wings and fluttered over to the deer. He hovered above the river and focused as hard as he could on his tiny flame. To his surprise, the flame began to grow a little stronger, and he used it to light up the path for the deer. "Follow the light," Ember called, his voice steady. "I will guide you across." The deer followed the flickering light of Ember's flame through the storm. It wasn't as bright as the flames from other dragons, but it was enough for them to find their way across the rushing river to safety. When the storm passed and the sky cleared, the deer turned to Ember with grateful eyes. "Thank you, Ember. You saved us." Ember felt a warmth inside his chest. He had helped them, even with his small flame. He realized that being different didn't mean he wasn't valuable. His unique light had been exactly what was needed. From that day on, Ember embraced who he was. He didn't need to be like the other dragons. He had his own special abilities, and that was enough. He continued to help those in need, using his tiny flame to guide the way, knowing that even the smallest light could make a big difference. A story about embracing your uniqueness, finding your strength, and helping others in your own way.